Joining me now in the studio is David Allen. David is an executive manager of community and family care work here at Wesley Mission. Welcome, David. Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Look, how many families and children, what are we talking about that we come into contact with and that we're trying to help?
So across the services in my area, we deal with up to 5,000 families. And it covers a complete range. So we deal with child protection, we deal with families who are just on the brink of risk to families who have severe and persistent mental health, families that are homeless or families that are in home but are struggling.
I like the idea that you just said who are at risk, just on the edge of, because we try, don't we, not to make sure they don't go over the edge, if you like.
Absolutely. That's a big focus of a lot of the work that we do, is to try and prevent people slipping into crisis. You can be homeless, but prevention is always going to be a far better way to manage a situation.
What type of supports do we provide?
So we can provide, we provide a lot of early intervention care and support. So we'll do supported play groups, we'll run parenting groups, we'll run soft contact groups, we'll run through to child protection. So families who are at risk of losing their children to the child protection system. We work with Department of Education and Employment to help parents find employment. We work in the homelessness space, accommodating families.
One of the reasons I want to talk to you today is we're in Advent and Christmas, and we've got all these people talking about Christmas in these gloriously emblazoned ways in our cities and town and rural Australia. Why is it more difficult or different at Christmas time?
Well, it's the stress, it's the anxiety, it's the expectation that people have, that society has on families, that a mother isn't a good mother unless she can provide the best toys or the most number of toys for the kids. And the kids who don't have a good Christmas experience and therefore is a failure. So the expectation is significant, and so families really feel that at that time of year. Plus they feel the pressure to get along. Families are dynamic beasts, and not all families will get along, and not all families can get along. So when Christmas comes around and the families feel that they have to have a great time and Christmas has to be a wonderful experience for everyone, and it doesn't, then the expectation and is significant, and that can push mental health.
Worldwide, telephone ministries, people where we're trying to help them, churches find people, turn to them at Christmas because the pressure is often greatest. And I think that it's also a time when perhaps memories are running high. You know, if you've got expectations of relationships that existed that no longer exist. What are some of the activities that we'll be doing this Christmas?
So leading up to Christmas, we'll do a hamper drive. So we try and make sure that to release that pressure and the burden on families, we'll try and do a range of different hampers, both food hampers as well as presents for the children.
So let me butt in and say, if you're at home and you want to do something, there's one thing you can do. Get a hamper to Wesley Mission early on now so we can help people. What else do we do?
We also run a range of activities leading up to it, so barbecues, opportunities where families can come along and have an activity, an event, which they can sort of label as a Christmas activity. Where we have accommodation, we'll run barbecues, we'll run meals or get-togethers, we'll run opportunities where families don't have to own the responsibility of having a fun time themselves, and we can sort of support them in that way. So quite often we'll be running get-together. So in our Mums and Kids program, they run a Christmas barbecue for the mums that are living on site for over Christmas, and a get-together in the gardens. David,
how many years have you worked for us?
12 years now.
12 years, nearly the time I came, really, about that time. So tell me, you've worked in various jobs as well, haven't you? Different areas, and you've been involved in. How does your faith fit into all of that?
For me, faith, it's a guide. For me, my faith is a. I just know that it's there, and it's something that I don't need to worry about. So for me, it's a reassurance. For me, it's a comfort. I know that even though it looks hard, the road looks hard for me, I know that God will be guiding me in that, and so that's a stress I don't need to worry about, because I know God will have a plan. I might not like what it's happening, or I might be uncomfortable, but I know the end result will work out. So that takes pressure off me. So that's how my faith works with me. So so I don't understand where the road's going to take me. It's only when I stop and look back, though, I can see God's plan.
Yeah, and the Christian life is hard yakka sometimes, isn't it? We've got to really stick in there. Thank you, David, for sharing with us, and also encouraging people to support us through the Advent and Christmas season and appeals.